you need to file a claim. Call CNS Cares to find out if you are eligible. Let's make sure you get all the care and support you deserve. Call 855-CNS-RICA today.
This holiday season, step back in time to an era of true elegance. Titanic, the exhibition, is now open at the Shops at Southtown in Sandy. Walk the grand staircase, see the artifacts, feel the stories. It's the perfect outing for the family or a thoughtful gift for someone special. Now open through April 2026. Purchase tickets and ticket gift vouchers today at titanicexhibition.com. Titanic, the exhibition. Don't miss the boat.
When you need a new water heater, you need it right now.
Yep, can't wait on that.
When you need a new furnace or a new air conditioner come the summertime, you need it right now. So Superior Water and Air has a wonderful program where they can help you with financing. If you need it, get it today and pay it off when you get your tax refund or just over time.
And that's one of the great things is they have multiple financing options. It's not just one, okay, you've got to do it this way. It's, you can wait till just after your tax refund. Well, what if you need no payments until later in the year?
Yeah.
They can work with you like that because, look, they want to help you get you back on your feet with the thing that doesn't work that you got to use.
Yeah.
And they'll just work with your situation. What a great way to do it.
I loved introducing you to my friends at Superior because they're just great people. And when you invite somebody into your home, you want to feel good about them.
Yeah, and they're so customer-centric. That was what really impressed me was they wanted to work with me and my family, whatever needs we might have.
Right. They want your home to be safe and clean. Superior Water and Air. Here's the number, 801-872-8483, or go to superiorwaterandair.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Mountain America Visa's Triple Rewards. Let's check in with the KSL Traffic Center.
And looking good on northbound I-15 and southbound for that matter through the Salt Lake Valley. No problems up in Weaver and Davis counties on I-15 and down in Utah County. It's also moving smoothly. We've had light volume all morning long. We did have an earlier accident on I-80 causing problems coming out of Tooele, but most of those delays have cleared out now, so just a little bit slow through that construction zone at Lake Point. The rescue mission of Salt Lake restores lives of homeless and hurting people by addressing the cause of homelessness and helping people return to work. Help Rescue Mission restore lives. Donate at rescuesaltlake.org. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today will be partly sunny with highs in the mid-60s. Tomorrow will be much of the same. Right now, it is currently 59 degrees and mostly cloudy and a little windy. I'm Alexandria Bonilla from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Well, this is a tragic turn of events, but a Utah father was taking his two foster children to visit family in Buffalo, New York. On the way there, Holly, to get to Buffalo, New York, I guess he took a wrong turn and had to go through Canada. Now, normally that wouldn't be such a great diversion, but he got into Canada, detained briefly, but as he tried to come back into the United States authorities detained them for 7 hours.
That's wild.
I mean, and so he's got these two kids, they're foster children. They're both from Haiti. They're not U.S. citizens, but they have the following: Social Security cards. They have Utah State ID cards, which is similar to a driver's license. They have work permits, and they have letters from Homeland Security allowing them to be here. They're still detained. I mean, the good news is that they were ultimately released, but they were detained for 7 hours because the Utah authorities were, I guess, thinking about whether or not they should be deported.
U.S. authorities, yeah. KSL TV's Shelby Lofton spoke with the boy's mom, Melody Ertley, and she has more on this story.
They've always talked about going to visit their mom who lives in New York.
Melody Ertley says her husband took two of the boys to Buffalo to see their family at what they thought was the right time.
We learned that the United States has said that Haitian immigrants will no longer have protective status as of February 3rd.
One wrong turn in an unfamiliar area landed them in trouble.
My husband just Googled a Walmart near me. He realized he was heading to Canada and there was nowhere to turn around. Our boys have Social Security cards. They have U.S. government issued work permits. They have the state ID with the yellow star in the corner. They have letters from the Department of Homeland Security.
It wasn't enough. She says her family was told without that paperwork, the boys would be turned over to ICE.
These are our kids.
She says calls to the boys' attorneys went unanswered because of the holiday.
Now, the paperwork that they were specifically looking at was a Form I-485, which is an application to register as a permanent resident. They hadn't filled that out yet. That was the particular form that was being looked at by the immigration authorities at the United States border. Did I say Utah border?
That's okay.
Right. So, so they didn't have that for whatever reason. They were trying to get in touch with their attorneys. Nobody could do that either. And here's another problem, that had this same thing happened in February, they probably would have had a far worse result.
It's just interesting because they're foster children. They do have judges' orders, right, that are placing them with this family as foster children. And the idea, well, first of all, you should be able to turn around, right? If you realize you're getting close to a country border, there should be a way for you to turn around and say, oh, wait, I didn't want to cross the border. But apparently they couldn't even do that.
Well, they asked someone earlier who told them, "Don't worry. Just when you get to the border, just tell them you took a wrong turn, and they'll let you make a U-turn."
Right.
But it wasn't quite
But
that
they
easy
didn't.
because
I know.
you literally had to go into Canada for a minute, and the Canadian authorities, if you've been there the last several years, they'll take things a little more seriously than they did, say, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We went there a while ago, and my children and I were all. We had to produce identification and talk about things. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Coming back to the United States was where they got in problem, not necessarily going into Canada.
Right.
But on February 3rd, immigrants from Haiti will lose what they call their temporary protected status. In other words, individuals from that country will no longer benefit from some of their protected status as a result of things that are happening in the country. They'll lose that. So these two kids need to get some things going between now and then, or they may very well be deported anyway.
Yeah, protected status is another immigration one. It's a designation, and it's not just for Haiti, but also we know that protected status for Afghan refugees, that is being revoked. I think for Ukrainian refugees, that's also being revoked. And it's just you're trying to do a good thing, and then you end up in the ICE crosshairs, which is just weird.
So it sounds like they didn't end up going on their trip to Buffalo. They're just coming back to Utah. They were going to see family in Buffalo. And I've traveled that way, and there are times when it's more efficient to travel through Canada to get through some of those cities in that part.
Up and around.
Yeah, you just go through Canada. Yeah. So he wasn't necessarily going the wrong way, but under the circumstances, he didn't want to go through Canada for the reasons exactly that what happened here.
Yeah. When we used to go visit Mexico on a regular basis, and then as we started having more multiracial kids, we just thought, you know what, I don't want there to be any issue. And this was at least 20 years ago. So we haven't been back in quite a long time, right? But it wasn't the same type of situation, but our kids were adopted, and it's like, do we have to carry all of this documentation every time we travel? Now they all have U.S. passports, of course. But
I had a question, and I don't know if you can answer this, but the two children, I think they were boys, ages 17 and 20.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't appreciate that you could still be in the foster care system at age 20.
You can. I think it's up to 21, and it could be longer if you're in college.
Okay, that was just something I didn't know. I assumed the 17-year-old wouldn't have been a problem. And they had a custody order from a Utah judge granting these Western parents custody of them.
Right.
So they did have that in place. So the parents were in good shape. It was the kids that were having the problems, and it had to be horrible to be detained for 7 hours and not knowing where you're going. And then poor dad, he's probably got to hang out there at the border and wait until something happens.
Right, because you can't. They were not getting their attorneys to answer phone calls. It's like hello. But I think now it's been resolved enough that they're back on their way home to Utah. So the boys were released late last night.
And I think you said that on February 3rd, on or after February 3rd, several countries that are currently protected by what they call temporary protected status will no longer have that.
Yeah, that's so what that status is that it prevents them from being deported. And then they're going to lose that status. So it's multiple countries.
So these two are on their way home. A happy ending for a bad case, and it's something that we wouldn't have even considered a year ago. Not the kind of thing that we would have even had a conversation about. It's just a product of what we're doing right now in this country as it relates to immigration and deportation. And again, we've said this a couple times, but in this situation for kids like this, people from Haiti are not going to get better.
So we know that the Trump administration has revoked this temporary status from at least 8 countries. So that includes Haiti, El Salvador, Ukraine, Venezuela, Honduras, and let's see. There's also Afghanistan, as we mentioned, Burma, and then Somalia. But we are seeing immigration from South Africa for white Afrikaners.
Yes. So another thing is, imagine Dad being on this road and knowing that there's no way to turn around.
Can you just drive over the median?
Yeah, I was going to say, under the circumstances, he probably
point.
wishes he'd have gone into something else. I mean, I can't imagine there were all that many miles with no exits or anything. But anyway, he couldn't turn around. Had to go through Canada. Was told, "Don't worry, they'll just wave you through, and you'll be back in the United States in minutes." Instead, it was a 7-hour detention.
Yeah, that's it's just sad. And I'm looking at a Salt Lake Tribune story that was published just this morning from somebody else who is in that same TPS status being revoked. So she has been in Utah for 8 years. She has grown up here. Has lots of ID in Utah, and temporary status was granted. And now that's being revoked. And so just the headline of the story is, I built my life in Utah, now the government wants me gone.
And you literally, and I know we're running out of time here, need to have an attorney anymore to understand what your status is in
and
this
how
country.
it might change.
Right, and how it could change.
Yeah. All right, look, Turning Point USA held their America Fest over the weekend, and there were some fireworks, both literally and figuratively. J.D. Vance, who's the heir apparent now to President Trump, tried to smooth things over, and rapper Nicki Minaj even made an appearance. We'll talk about everything that happened next.
You know, most diets will help you lose a few pounds, but Soda weight loss will help you lose years. I lost 37 pounds on the Soda weight loss program 3 years ago, and I feel younger than I've felt in decades. And it's not because of how I look, it's because of how I feel.
But you do look younger,
Thank
too.
you.
I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, and then I looked at the before and after pictures of myself and was like, wow.
It's something when you don't have to carry all of that excess weight around. And I was at a stage in my life where I didn't want to add drugs to my regimen. I wanted to reduce the number of medications I had to take. So the nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss taught me how to have a healthy relationship with food.
And it was so helpful that I could text my nutritionist anytime I wanted to for advice, which helped me learn what I needed to know so that I could keep it off. And right now, this is the perfect time to join, because if you join now, your partner joins for free. It's the perfect gift for both of you.
It's at Soda Weight Loss.
SOTAweightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Hey, Utah! Are you ready for the Utah Mammoth to hit the ice? From game-winning goals to behind-the-scenes moments, Mammoth Plus brings the action to you all season long. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the stands, don't miss a single shift. Visit UtahMammothPlus.com and start streaming today. That's UtahMammothPlus.com. Every game, every goal, live on Mammoth Plus.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Utah is one of the best places to live, work, and raise a family. But for many Utahns, the dream of owning a home is slipping away. Home prices have risen faster than incomes, and families are spending nearly 2/3 of what they earn just to keep a roof overhead. From young graduates to grandparents, everyone is feeling the squeeze. Utah needs more homes, the right kinds of homes, so families can stay close and our communities can thrive. That's why Utah Workforce Housing Advocacy created Demand More Supply, a statewide effort helping Utahns understand the issue and take action in their own communities. Because when we work together, we can make housing affordable again for today's families and for future generations. Let's make the dream of owning a home a reality again. Learn more and add your voice at DemandMoreSupply.com. DemandMoreSupply.com. That's DemandMoreSupply.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
And expanded Inside Sources. Inside Sources.
This last weekend, Turning Point USA held their America Fest event, and there were some fireworks, both literally and figuratively. J.D. Vance, the heir apparent to President Trump, tried to smooth things over, and rapper Nicki Minaj, why she's important in this is up, I guess. She made an appearance. It's the first time that the organization is meeting since its founder, the late conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was assassinated in September. His widow, and now Turning Point USA CEO Erica Kirk, endorsed Vance for president in 2028.
We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 and the most resounding way possible.
A little early for that, but
It seems like maybe it's a little early, but I would just say it's probably not too early. What's interesting is President Trump has not endorsed anybody. I think he's still holding out hope he can run, which he can't, but I think he's holding out hope that maybe he can. But what's also interesting is there's a lot of buzz online that Erica Kirk might be his running mate. So J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk as the top of the Republican ticket for 2028.
That would be an interesting ticket.
It
I mean,
would
I
be
don't know
an
what she
interesting
brings to the
ticket.
table. I don't know her particularly
Fame.
well. Right, but she does have, she does. I mean, I guess Charlie Kirk could have been an even more palatable running mate, but his widow, she certainly stood up to the plate since he passed away and has taken over the Turning Point USA instead of sort of fading off into the distance. She's run with that and is seemingly doing a very good job with it.
Yeah. So Nicki Minaj was there. She was a surprise guest, I guess, and she had a lot to say about Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nicki Minaj.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact.
I don't know where Nicki Minaj comes into all of this, except that she's a celebrity. I think she was on one of those shows where they I don't remember what she was on, this sing show that you can become a famous person.
It's not American Idol or
yeah,
anything.
something
I
like
really
that.
don't know
Yeah,
either. So
she did that for a
either.
while. But I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody's entitled to. Celebrities are becoming more and more a part of our political climate, and having their support means something because you get younger people out. You get younger people that say, "Hey, she apparently knows something."
You know, one of the things that was interesting is that a number of the headlines pointed out how there was a rift between Ben Shapiro and other conservative activists. So the first night, Ben Shapiro criticized people who were also there at the conference: Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Steve Bannon, and he said this. He said, "If you host a Hitler apologist, Nazi-loving, anti-American piece of refuse like Nick Fuentes, you ought to own it." That was about Tucker Carlson.
Right.
And then he went on the attack for several others. In fact, he was attacking Megyn Kelly for not denouncing Candace Owens and her conspiracy theories about the death of Charlie Kirk. And so Megyn Kelly took to the stage later and said, "I don't think we're friends anymore."
You're not coming to my birthday.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, there is a little bit of a rift. And what's interesting is, to me, is that both Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance were trying to smooth things over.
Yeah, J.D. Vance actually tried to unify the crowd.
Charlie invited all of us here for a reason, because he believed that each of us, all of us, had something worth saying, and he trusted all of you to make your own judgment. And we have far more important work to do than canceling each other. We have got to build, and President Donald Trump is a builder.
He also said President Trump did not build the greatest coalition in politics by running his supporters through endless self-defeating purity tests, although I might disagree with that. He also said He also says make America great again because every American is invited.
You know, I think that Democrats and liberals are trying to make more, and maybe I'm wrong, about internal rifts with the MAGA and the conservative movement. And I know that there's some play there and some individuals who are thinking it should go in a different direction, but I don't see that. I mean, if the MAGA in this group that was meeting, I forget what it's, Turning Point USA, gets behind J.D. Vance, I think he's going to be a formidable candidate. I mean, that's pretty powerful. I mean, but certainly Trump's not going to be maybe around for the election in 2028. He's not going to be a candidate, I should say. And
right.
So there are people lining up for that. I even heard the Texas senator.
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz is throwing his name in the hat, which is fine. So I think there's got to be some posturing at this point, and it's way, way early to say J.D. Vance is the heir apparent, although he's certainly working it. He's working it really hard.
He's positioning himself, and you know, it seems like it's early to us. We just barely finished an election, and it's not even for like the national level; it's for municipal elections, and yet it's actually an eternal campaign. It feels like. So I don't think it's that early. And you're right. I think he will be. I think he'll be the front runner, especially with Turning Point USA behind him. They're a really large and influential group.
I'm wondering, besides the fact that he may think he's running in 2028, why Trump wouldn't get more behind J.D. Vance. Maybe it's early, and he wants to play things a little bit close to the vest, wondering if maybe someone else will come forward. But you would think his vice president, and let's face it, J.D. Vance has been a Trump supporter number one since the election. You'd think Trump would get behind him more.
I think things will unfold as we get closer, but I don't know. Maybe he's waiting to see if maybe Stephen Miller is going to run, or Vivek Ramaswamy, who was, he was in the presidential race for a little bit. I don't know. But Erica Kirk did try to do her best to showcase unity, and she was basically saying, look, these are all the things that my husband did for this movement, and we should all come together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I know the name Erica Kirk, and I know that she's the widow of Charlie Kirk, but I just don't know whether America thinks of her as a spokesperson for the conservative movement.
Well, I think they do now.
Because she's certainly running with it.
Yeah, there were 30,000 people there at this event. So I think the movement really exploded after Charlie's death in September. They've really gained a lot of new members, a lot of new followers, and they've been out there speaking about not only Charlie, but they're also talking about what's coming next, right? And she took over the reins of this whole organization. So we'll see where that goes.
Tell me where you think Turning Point USA is placed right now in terms of persuasion for the American public for a Republican or a MAGA candidate. I mean, do you think that Turning Point USA is the place to look right now, and that's the
probably
better endorsement that you could get?
Well, if you're looking for like the Make America Great Again movement isn't really an organization, right? So I think you're probably looking at Turning Point USA as being the largest organization out there saying, hey, we have some real influence on conservative and MAGA voters. I think they probably are.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, they held their event over the weekend. Rapper Nicki Minaj. I remember her just being obnoxious. I don't know. I didn't like her on that show, but she certainly got some. She's certainly very, very talented, and had a lot to say. Turning Point USA CEO Erica Kirk is there endorsing Vance for president and stating it outright in December of 2025, endorsing him for president in 2028. A little bit early, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then I think the back and forth with Shapiro and some of the other ones where there's the split, I think you're going to see some people split off from J.D. Vance too, but we'll see.
Well, Friday was the deadline for the Department of Justice to release all the Epstein files. They released some, but not all. And I think they actually released some and then pulled them back.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that when we come back after the break, because it's caused some pretty significant bipartisan reaction.
It's just about 9:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour. Bowl season is officially underway for our local college football teams. Utah State plays today at noon, while BYU and Utah are both still preparing for their bowl games. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Utah State will be the first of our teams to go bowling as they take on Washington State today in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise. The Aggies are looking to win their first bowl game since 2021. Head coach Bronco Mendenhall said ahead of today's matchup,
"It always is magical for me when our upperclassmen, our seniors, can go out with a win. There's a finality and a statement to that, which I'm really hopeful for this team, that they can experience that celebration in the locker room one more time."
Meanwhile, BYU is preparing to play Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl this Saturday at 1:30. Our pregame coverage starts with Cougar Sports Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on KSL News Radio. Utah will be taking on Nebraska on New Year's Eve in the Las Vegas Bowl. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
The Utah Mammoth were able to pull out a win in overtime against the Winnipeg Jets at the Delta Center last night. The Mammoth blew a 3-goal lead, which included giving up 2 goals with less than 5 minutes left in the third period. But Utah's captain made sure they secured the win in overtime.
Gunther brings it in. Gunther across. Keller shoots. He scores! Clayton Keller, the captain, with a Wasatch winner. 4-3 Utah.
And that's how the game-winning goal sounded on SEG Media. The Mammoth will be heading to Denver to take on the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow night. Your money at this moment: the Dow has gained 254 points. The S&P is also up 41 points. The NASDAQ up 136 points. Coming up, warm December. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 9:31.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Hi, this is Doug Ryden. For years, I've been telling you about products I truly believe in and that we use in our home. And one is Kinetico. We all know the downsides of hard water, tough on home appliances, frustrating spots on shower doors. but it also affects your personality. When you shower, does the water feel invigorating? Hard water can leave your skin feeling sticky and itchy. A Kinetico soft water system changes everything. It's like having a luxurious spa experience when you shower, making your daily routine something you look forward to. Kinetico, it's a difference you can feel. Their patented system uses far less salt than competitors, and they're exclusively focused on water softeners. They're the experts in their field, and they'll show you the difference for free with no obligation to buy. Call Kinetico Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer, at 801-576-8600, or check them out online at softwaterutah.com. Start enjoying your water. Spoil yourself every day.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 skills-based degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm the fun aunt. For my 3 nieces, I have to get exactly what they want for the holidays so I can keep my status. With my rewards visa from Cyprus Credit Union, I'm earning triple points on every purchase now through December. That means triple the awesome gifts and triple the points for me. Lisa gets a makeup set, Kate gets a handbag, and Mandy gets the tarantula she's always wanted. And I get triple points to reward myself for being such a good aunt. Visit CyprusCU.com.
Cyprus Credit Union, your future is our future.
Equal opportunity lender.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
And a few days before Christmas, we expect the volume to be light, and it is. It's delivering out there on I-15. You're going to be looking good, both north and southbound, from Payson all the way up to Ogden. We have no accidents, no delays. We had an earlier accident on I-80 coming out of Tooele. That caused massive delays all morning long, but those are all cleared now, too, so you should be able to breathe easy if you are making your way out of Tooele over onto I-80 and the 201. The other highways and side streets around the Wasatch Front, they're all looking good. Likewise, up into the canyons, no problems there either. At Restore, every purchase and donation builds dreams. Find affordable furniture, appliances, and books while helping families achieve home ownership. Reduce waste, share kindness, and create change. Restore.habitatsaltlake.org. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today will be partly sunny with a high in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, much of the same. We could get some rain mid-week, but right now it's 61 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Britt Johnson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
When we left here Friday, Holly, we were talking about the Justice Department's obligation to release the Epstein files that day, and it's part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which was passed last month, required the government to release virtually all of the files within 30 days.
Yep.
That 30 days was Friday. The Justice Department did begin disclosing thousands of files and photos related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, but there were some that were not released. Here's more from ABC's StartCast podcast on what we did get.
From what we've seen, though, in what has been released, there's a few things that stick out. One is this trove of photographs.
We're looking at every page. We're getting a lot of, hundreds of thousands of materials out today. We expect more in the coming days and weeks as we make sure that we're protecting victims as we should.
So DOJ released, in part, what it found of Jeffrey Epstein's possessions when they searched his various homes and things of that nature. Some of those photographs, and in this case there are photos of photos, had President Trump in them. Then there are several photos featuring Jeffrey Epstein and former President Bill Clinton. Now, no Epstein survivor has ever accused Clinton of any wrongdoing, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, in a very public interview with Vanity Fair some time back, told them that there was no incriminating information to her knowledge about Clinton in these files, despite the fact that Trump had previously said that there was. And a Clinton spokesperson on Friday said, let me read from a part of his statement, quote, "They can release as many grainy 20-plus-year-old photos as they want, but this isn't about Bill Clinton, never has, never will be."
So it's interesting to me that they're under order to release the files, and they don't.
Well, and now they're claiming. So in the past, they failed to release some files, saying we're still doing some investigation. There's still some investigation going on. They kind of got called out on that. There really isn't much of an investigation going on. Now what they're claiming, the reason they're not releasing some files is because of the victim's privacy.
They claimed that before, though, and you had a whole group of victims saying, we want these files released, right?
Yeah, they were going out of their way.
So one of the things that they did release on Friday was the grand jury testimony, 100% redacted, which means blacked out, which means nobody could see anything at all, right? It's completely useless.
And I've seen documents like that where you request from the government certain things, including grand jury transcripts, and you get something that everything's blacked out except this person came and met with us on this day, and then this is what they said, and it's all blacked out. You don't.
Yeah.
It's useless. It's really useless.
Yeah, it's interesting that the photo. So they removed a photo that had President Trump in it, and then it was re-uploaded. And I think after the outcry, right, of people saying he was in these photos, and then you took it down, and now you put it back. But the DOJ. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said it didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump being in the photo.
Yeah. There was also a document released, this might take just a minute, involving an FBI complaint.
So that's one thing that was in these files, the photos. And then, Brad, there is this document. And frankly, when I first came upon this document, and I've been covering the Jeffrey Epstein story for years, not as long as some of our colleagues here at ABC News, chief among them.
You were based in Florida.
Yeah, I was based in Florida, but we have a guy here at ABC named Jim Hill who's been covering the story for much longer. And we're going through these documents as part of a big team, and we all start to stumble upon this one. It's a 1996 FBI complaint. It was filed to the Miami field office of the FBI, and it was filed by a complainant who's now identified herself as Maria Farmer. And we've known in the Farmer family because her sister is an Epstein survivor. In this complaint, Maria Farmer says that at the time, again, 1996, that she took pictures of her younger sisters, who then were ages 12 and 16, for personal use. And then she alleged that Epstein stole the photos and the negatives of those photos and, quote, sold the photos to potential buyers. And we heard from Maria Farmer's attorney about all of this.
We've never seen anything before corroborating her 1996 report, but we just saw it yesterday for the first time in 30 years.
So this was a child pornography complaint, in a sense, about Jeffrey Epstein that was filed in 1996, about a decade before Jeffrey Epstein was first investigated in earnest by law enforcement authorities.
They could have avoided 30 years of trauma if they had just done their job.
So this was a tip the FBI got years before Jeffrey Epstein was in any formal way on the radar of law enforcement that they did not, it appears at least, they did not pursue.
Wow. And like you said, the idea that the FBI had basically been told about Jeffrey Epstein in some way or another so many years ago, and then more than a decade goes by.
So hindsight's always 20/20, and you find something from 1996 that purports to be a complaint to the FBI, of course, involving 12 and 16-year-old girls, but it doesn't say anything about the nature of the pictures, although there's some reference that they involve child pornography. You would expect that if there was such a complaint, the FBI would have done something. But at the time, I don't know, we weren't really looking at Jeffrey Epstein as anything other than just some guy, some rich guy who had a lot of
but here's the problem, right? So he has just boatloads of money and has apparently very wealthy clients. And I'm looking at a Washington Post article about Maria Farmer, and she says that in her complaint, she said that she and her sister had been sexually assaulted by Epstein and Maxwell. That's Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And so she filed this, almost 30 years ago, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. And now there's finally some vindication for her having said, I told you this was a problem. I told you there was a problem.
And so we're getting thousands of documents released, and one of those happens to be a 30-year-old complaint that doesn't appear to have been acted on by anyone.
Correct.
And so I don't know what
Part of the files,
remedy to that is, but except that the FBI was asleep at the wheel, allegedly, on that particular issue, which is not consistent with what you would expect. That there would have been some level of investigation. Even if they referred it to local authorities or somebody like that, you'd expect that something would have come out of a complaint like that, especially involving kids that age.
So this is interesting. She filed a lawsuit in May of this year seeking damages from the federal government for what her lawyers say was federal authorities' negligence regarding her claims. So she filed originally in 1996. 10 years later, the FBI did come to her door to talk to her about Epstein. And then in 2008, he pled guilty to state charges in Florida, which is where she was living. So,
I wonder if those involve these same kids. I wonder if they were involved.
Yeah, her sisters.
Yeah.
Her sisters.
So that certainly corroborates what she said, that it was true because he admitted it, or at least government authorities corroborated it.
So at least two lawmakers, and these are ones who were behind this movement, this discharge petition to get these files released. It's Representative Ro Khanna and Representative Thomas Massie, a Democrat and Republican. They are really, really unhappy that there are so many redactions, and so many missing documents. And so they're talking about filing what they're calling inherent contempt charges. And this is according to an NPR article. Inherent contempt refers to Congress's authority to fine or arrest and then bring to trial officers who are obstructing legislative functions.
Yeah.
Like, they're serious, and they're not really happy. They've talked about impeaching Pam Bondi as well.
And the Department of Justice, they've got a pretty clear mandate what to do. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, continuing to dodge this and hide things and not produce documents and I mean, it's making it worse, and it's making the public even more hungry to get the information.
Well, again, it's not a partisan issue, and there's a lot of angst, I think, on the part of both Democrats and Republicans saying just release the files.
Right.
All right. Former Senator Mitt Romney has a new pitch for the GOP. Tax the rich. We'll be back with more on Inside Sources after the break.
Sometimes when our furnace stops working, it's something simple we can fix ourselves. If we only knew how. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and the next time your furnace stops working, before you call a company out to fix it, try this first. Go shut the furnace down and make sure your air filter is clean. Go around the house and make sure the vents are open and there's nothing blocking the return air. If it's been a while since you've changed the batteries in your thermostat, go ahead and do that too. Then go turn the furnace back on, and if it stays on, you're probably good. If it stops working again, you're probably going to want a technician to check it out. If you don't know one, Any Hour Services has a special offer for any homeowners listening. One of our HVAC technicians will diagnose and troubleshoot your furnace for only $29. Then they'll explain what they found and present you with repair options. And don't worry, our technicians service all brands. Call Any Hour Services and let them know you heard about this $29 troubleshooting special on the radio. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL offers the best daily newsletter in the state. It's the 3 things you need to know. Every weekday, we deliver quality and relevant content to your inbox. No ads, no spam, just the 3 things you need to know to be informed about the world around you. Subscribe today. Visit KSLNewsRadio.com or text the word inbox to 57500. That's inbox to 57500.
Well, winter is coming fast, and a lot of kids here in Utah don't have the warm coats and sturdy shoes that they need to get them through the cold months ahead.
KSL's Quarters for Christmas has been helping local children for years, turning all of your donations into warm coats and shoes for kids right here in our own community.
And you should know that every dollar you give goes directly toward providing coats, and shoes for kids who need them most. It's easy to make a difference. Just go online to kslquarters.com, donate whatever you can, and know you're helping keep a child warm this winter.
Please join us in spreading a little comfort and a lot of kindness with KSL's Quarters for Christmas.
My friend Joey means well.
Always remember that the early bird gathers no moss.
But he gets a little confused.
You know, you can't make a silk purse out of a wooden nickel.
Like Joey, many of us can be confused when it comes time to plan for retirement. When to take Social Security, how to use that 401k, what about the stock market, taxes, and Medicare? Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management can help to simplify retirement planning. His goal is to have you walk into retirement with confidence, not worry, and to address the number one concern among retirees today, the fear of running out of money. Call Galileo Wealth today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting to talk about the details of your retirement. 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000. Or online, GalileoWealth.com. And remember,
one man's trash is thicker than water. Of course, water's not thick at all. It's watery.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would it leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection on the drivetrain, AC, and more. Get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
Call for your fast free quote today. 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or back problems, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And how about working more comfortably, like Dennis? Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it, but I didn't have a choice. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. I could do my job and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow's gonna be. It's gonna be positive. You deserve a better life too. Stop in the Good Feet store today. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Inside Sources.
Well, Mitt Romney thinks that the Republicans need to become the party of tax the rich. And he wrote an opinion article Friday for the New York Times, and the former senator from Utah and one-time Republican nominee for president said that his change of heart is sort of brought on by the fact that our country's debt crisis has gotten so big. And what he said was this: today, all of us are truly headed for a cliff. And on the tax front, it's time for the rich people like me to pay more.
I think that's really interesting, right? And the Wall Street Journal had an immediate response that was, by all means, tax Mitt Romney.
Well, but he said that.
But they also said, leave the middle class alone. Look, so I'm reading from Mitt Romney's op-ed, and he says, typically Democrats insist on higher taxes and Republicans insist on lower spending. But given the magnitude of our national debt, as well as the proximity of the cliff, both are necessary. Doge took a slash and burn approach to budget cutting and failed spectacularly. And then he says, on the spending cut front, only entitlement reform would make a meaningful difference, since programs such as Social Security and Medicare account for a majority of government outlays, which is true, right? And so when we talk about the budget, the federal budget, you have basically discretionary spending and non-discretionary, but non-discretionary includes Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and there's very little wiggle room when it actually comes to discretionary spending.
And he looks at the national debt, and it has risen $15 trillion since 2020. Just 5 years, it's risen $15 trillion. The current debt is $38 trillion, which means that interest alone ups it by $1 trillion every few months.
Yeah, which is the latest numbers we saw. To get to the latest trillion only took, I think, 4 months, something like that. And just look, he's saying, look, I've long opposed increasing the income level on which FICA employment taxes are applied. This year, the cap is $176,000. And then he says, no longer. The consequences of the cliff have changed my mind. The largest source of additional tax revenue is also probably the most compelling for fairness and social stability. Some call it closing tax code loopholes, but the term loopholes grossly understates their scale. Caverns or caves would be more fitting. I think he's right. I mean, we've been talking about a K-shaped economy, and that's where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, right? And he's saying, look, there's a lot of money out there with people who are really rich, and they have these tax loopholes, which he's calling tax caverns.
Yeah, and he sort of talked about what he is specifically proposing here, and he talked about forming what he's calling rescue committees to make bipartisan plans to resolve budget shortfalls. And I suppose part of that rescue and part of those budget shortfalls would be taxing the richer part of our populace. And like you said earlier, this is something that would have been expected from Democrats, not necessarily Republicans. But he's saying we're approaching the cliff.
Well, we are, and that's one of the things that I think has been bipartisan. Both parties say we're speeding off the cliff and we need to slow down government spending, but neither one seems to actually really slow down the government spending.
Yeah, he also recommends that Social Security and Medicare be need-based more than they are, to limit benefits for future wealthy retirees, raise the age of eligibility for these programs in line with longer American life expectancy. We've talked about that before, raising the age of Social Security because we have so many people are on that. It's easy for me to say now because I probably get grandfathered in. But, if you raise the age from whatever it happens to be, 66 and a half to 68 or something like that, you could save a ton of money. Of course, a lot of Americans have been planning on that 68 for a long time and looking at that as their date. But that's one of the, I'm digressing a little bit, that's one of the things that is a short-term way to give us some break with Social Security is if we raise the age.
And I think there's ongoing discussions too about what can we do, especially, I think this is his point, right, is we have to look at where the money is, and the money is with rich people who are able to hire a fleet of attorneys to get them the best tax policies that benefit the rich. So he says, look, taxes can slow growth, but most of the measures I propose would have a relatively small impact on economic growth. And so if my party, Republican, wants to be the one giving working and middle-class Americans greater opportunity, to be the party that is trying to restore some sense of confidence in our capitalist system, this would be a start.
And I've heard a lot of comments from the upper class who have claimed, with some basis, that the rich are actually spending more money. They're putting a lot more money into the economy. There's no reason to tax them because they do that. On the other hand, they've got the money to be taxed.
They put more money in dollar-wise, but I don't know that it's percentage-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You're right. You're right.
So I know that with like Social Security taxes, that there's an upper limit, and then once you hit that limit, you don't pay any more than that. Why would I think another source of revenue is to say, look, everybody is going to pay Social Security taxes no matter what your revenue is.
Right. And you have to wonder what Romney's doing. I mean, I'm glad that he's still speaking, that he's out there, that he's making himself known, and maybe he just felt strongly about something like this, but I don't know what
he does. He's actually proposing something that he calls, let me see. Excuse me. He's calling it, basically, he wants a committee to get together and start exploring these. He said it's not the rich that are cheating the government. They're playing by the rules, but given the potential peril ahead, we need to follow the Willie Sutton rule, which is go where the money is. But he wants to get this bipartisan group together to start looking at and talking about where the government actually can start looking at bringing in additional revenue.
And if he wants to do something that will help the Republican Party right now in terms of midterms coming up, in terms of the shift. Maybe this is the kind of thing the Republicans can get behind and get the American public to think, wow, they're trying to do something about the debt. I mean, Romney, for someone who's got his amount of wealth, to say the wealthy need to be taxed is a powerful message, I think, especially because of just who he is.
Yeah, exactly. And he's talking, he uses Elon Musk as a hypothetical scenario. He says, for example, if he had originally purchased his Tesla stock with, say, $1 billion and held it until his death, and then it was worth $500 billion, he would never pay the 24% federal capital gains tax on the $499 billion profit. Why? Because under the tax code, capital gains are not taxed at death. Right? So that, I mean, he's looking at like a lot of different things. He goes, we could do, there's some real estate carve-outs that could be done away with too.
Right. I mean, he is looking at other tax loopholes to try to make a difference here. So, I mean, can he get some love in Congress? Can he get some love with the Senate? Can he get some love with people who are going to say, hey, Mitt, this is a good idea. Maybe we can do something. I mean, he's a voice from the past, but still a powerful voice.
Yeah, and, you know, people on the right are not super happy with Mitt Romney, but when he ran for president, the year that he made it all the way to the end, he was wildly popular. I think he got something like 80-something% of the vote in Utah. I mean, it was bipartisan across the board. People loved Mitt Romney. And now he spent 6 years in the Senate. He just, this last election cycle, not the 25, but the 24, he didn't run again. And that's when John Curtis came in as senator. But he ended up becoming kind of an outcast because he stuck to his guns, really, rather than playing the games that he thought were being played back there.
Well, and he voted to impeach Trump. And
that's one of them. That's what I mean.
Some grief in the party as well. But Mitt was his own person, and he certainly didn't feel like he needed to always toe the line with the Republicans if he didn't feel like they were doing something was right.
So will Congress act? I suspect not, actually. So Romney's worth about $300 million. So there are people who are significantly more wealthy than he is out there.
But still, that puts him in that category. Well, speaking of categories, I'm in the category of people who have procrastinated in their Christmas shopping, and it is 3 days away.
Woo-hoo.
Some people are just getting started. I'm about halfway through. Are you a dedicated procrastinator? Let us know. Text us at 57500 if you are still procrastinating your Christmas shopping like me. Text us at 57500. We'll be right back.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 10 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour. A woman accused of hitting a Springville antique store employee with her car pleaded guilty and faces up to 15 years in prison. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Jessie Lee Kerr is accused of walking into an antique store and taking several valuable baseball cards and leaving without paying. KSL reports the shop employee followed her out and was taking pictures of her license plate when they say Kerr backed up, hitting them, then sped forward, hitting them again hard enough for them to fall onto the hood.
When police found Kerr, they said she had taken the license plates off her car. Kerr has been ordered to serve 3 years on probation, along with 1 to 15 years in prison. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. The U.S. military continues its escalation in the Caribbean after going after oil tankers. ABC's Selena Wang says they're currently tracking a third tanker.
This comes after Saturday's seizure of an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, carried out by an elite Coast Guard tactical team. This same type of unit used just 10 days earlier when American forces rappelled from helicopters onto another oil tanker's deck to take control of the ship. Now Venezuela is calling America's actions theft and hijacking.
The military says the tanker they're following this morning is flying a false flag. Your money at this moment: the Dow in the green, 254 points, the S&P up 39 points, the Nasdaq gaining 129 points. Coming up, record-setting warmth. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 10:01.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 skills-based degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
This holiday season, step back in time to an era of true elegance. Titanic. The exhibition is now open at the shops at Southtown and Sandy. Walk the grand staircase. See the artifacts. Feel the stories. It's the perfect outing for the family or a thoughtful gift for someone special. Now open through April 2026. Purchase tickets and ticket gift vouchers today at titanicexhibition.com. Titanic, the exhibition. Don't miss the boat.
Make game day yours with the Utah Mammoth app. Get your tickets, order food and drinks without leaving your seat, track live stats, and stream every game with Mammoth Plus, all in one place. It's the ultimate game day essential, designed for Mammoth fans. Stay connected to your hometown team and never miss a moment. Download the Utah Mammoth app today on iPhone and Android. Turn on push notifications and make every day game day. Tusks up.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
Looks like we have a couple of cars in a disagreement southbound side of I-15, just before 2100 South. Now, they're off to the right shoulder and not affecting traffic, so it shouldn't bother you. Just don't, lose your focus and go making that situation worse than it already is. Otherwise, everything else is still looking good on I-15 along the Wasatch Front. No other delays or accidents to speak of. Likewise, on your other major feeders and major highways, they're all in good shape at this point with good speeds. It is a few days before Christmas, so light volume is what's greeting you out on the roads at this point. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're on the way to record high temperatures today, tomorrow, and even on Christmas, with the highs above 60 degrees each day. Then some rain moves in to wrap up the week. Right now it's 61 degrees and cloudy. I'm Britt Johnson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Well, if you are like me and you're a procrastinator, you should know that time is running out. Whether you do your spending in a physical store or in the virtual marketplace, you better finish your Christmas shopping because Christmas is what?
3 days away.
3 days away, yes. I do want to say that ABC has said that if you are waiting this long, you're not alone.
A poll from SurveyMonkey finds that 1 in 5 Americans will hold off on holiday shopping until the last minute. The National Retail Federation puts the average spend at $890 per person, a slight decline from last year. But factor in inflation, the NRF anticipates the first $1 trillion holiday shopping season in history.
$1 trillion shopping season. And that started with Black Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Cyber Monday.
That's right.
We
That's
were all
right.
talking about money coming in
Yep.
ways we hadn't seen in the past.
But I find it interesting that 20% have held off on shopping until the very last minute. It's kind of the very last minute. In fact, I was asking you during the break, where do you go shopping if you delay till Christmas Eve or, early Christmas morning? Well, maybe 7-Eleven or some gas station, right?
Well, they say that last minute includes what they call Super Saturday, which was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting
Already
until
over.
Super Saturday, you're waiting pretty late. And that number was actually pretty significant. Almost 9 in 10 people still had some shopping to do.
Yeah.
But within 2 weeks of Christmas, according to a study by the International Council of Shopping Centers, nearly 9 in 10 consumers plan to shop in the days leading up to September 25th. I mean, that's like me. That's where I am. But a lot of people wait until the last minute.
So you can text us at 57500. Tell us if you're a dedicated Christmas procrastinator. We do have one text that says, unfortunately, I am procrastinating as well. Thank goodness for my loving and amazing wife who has handled the majority of the shopping for our child. And thank goodness for same day or next day deliveries on Amazon. But I do have to add, I was on Amazon yesterday because I wasn't all the way done, but almost done. And I found out that a lot of gifts that I was thinking of were not going to make it by Christmas. So I had to go with gift cards.
Yeah, and I guess to me, I'd almost rather just have it come late. But I don't like going to the Amazon route, except when you have people who are out of state and you want it shipped anyway. But to me, I like to go to a brick-and-mortar store to do my shopping.
Well, it could be more expensive, too, if you delay. The longer you delay, and ABC's Jim Ryan says putting off till tomorrow could end up costing you today.
While it's true that some retailers are dropping their prices in order to clear out inventory before the end of the year, making sure that your gift gets there on time could negate that benefit. Expedited delivery can easily double the price of that perfect Christmas gift.
That's true. If you look at, hey, I need it delivered in the next 2 days, you're going to spend as much on postage as you are on the price of the merchandise.
Well, speaking of postage, just the regular U.S. Postal Service, President Trump signed an executive order over the weekend that says Christmas Eve and the day after are now federal holidays in addition to Christmas. So USPS will not be delivering Christmas Eve or the day after on the 26th.
Boxing Day. Oh, wow. Yeah. So he an executive order calling
those are federal holidays now, says President Trump.
The 23rd and
the 23rd and the 24th and the 26th. Yeah.
Well, that'll make a lot of friends in the federal government. But again, we kind of rely on those last minute drop-offs.
I think a lot of it is, it could be like Amazon, right? You can just get it anytime, and you can get it overnight, and you can get it. In fact, I've noticed this year that I can order things that can be delivered at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which is wild to me that now they have this immediate delivery. But sometimes it's like I said, it's like, well, now if you go on Amazon, it will tell you this gift arrives after Christmas. So it's like, well, doggone it.
Yeah, and I was talking about that ICSC study. It found that 89% of consumers, representing approximately 238 million U.S. adults, plan to shop in the final 2 weeks before December 25th, matching the 2024 levels, but up from 82% in 2023. So the number of people waiting until the last minute actually is seemingly going up.
To me, 2 weeks doesn't sound like the last minute because now we're down to the last 3 days. And 20% are saying, well, it's the week of Christmas. I should probably think about something.
But I'm like the texter that you read.
Yeah.
My wife does it. So she's great.
Right. I know. Thank you very much for the women who keep Christmas going.
Right. I sort of have to buy for her.
I'll say this, too. If you go to stores right now, you're starting to see the Christmas stuff is being cleared out, and we're starting to get into Valentine's Day stuff. So we were talking about Christmas stuff being up in September. Well, we've reached the end.
If you're going to stores now, like me, you can't even find a parking space. I mean,
Well,
it seems
that's
like,
also true.
especially with the weather not being bad, people are out doing something.
Yeah.
You can't ski right now. I mean, you should be skiing if you can, but it's not like the ski season is in full bloom. And so people are shopping and doing things at the last minute they can get away with.
Yeah, I was out over the weekend just a little, and it was like it takes you twice as long to do just normal errands just because of the amount of traffic and trying to find a parking space. So you get your steps in because you got to walk a mile to get into the store. And the other day, it wasn't Saturday, but earlier in the week, last week, I was trying to check out at Walmart. There were lines halfway to the back of the store to get through the checkout.
You know, this is an interesting study. Also, more than half of the shoppers, 53%, plan to use AI to compare prices, find deals, and generate gift ideas.
I've never done that.
and Gen Z shoppers, that's 73% using artificial intelligence, and millennials having 66%. So, I mean, I don't know how you would plug in AI to. I guess you could have it do anything.
Ask ChatGPT, where can I find the best price on XYZ gift, right? But you have to know specifically what you're looking for.
Right, yeah. You want the best. Maybe AI can do something like that. Maybe it would be a good thing to use.
We do have another texter that says that they wonder if the administration realizes how much backlog a 3-day holiday will create for mail carriers after Christmas. So,
oh, yeah, especially
you get a 3-day break and then everything just dumps on Saturday.
Yeah, good news, bad news. You have 3 days off. Bad news is Monday is going to be horrible.
Oh, Saturday. They deliver mail on Saturday.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
You'd have that day. So, yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny. We do this every year. You wait till the last minute, like a lot of us do, and then I kind of go online to see what's the best, because my wife wants a certain thing for Christmas, and so I go online to see who makes the best of that particular product.
Yeah, this texter says, my kid's birthday is at the beginning of December, so I make a list to buy everything the last 2 weeks. I finished Christmas shopping yesterday and have Christmas food and groceries tonight. Whoop, whoop. And then somebody else says, some people have to wait the last 2 weeks before Christmas to shop because that's when PJ is, but I'm not sure what PJ is. Pajamas?
No, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, text us. Tell us what you mean by PJ.
PJ, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you then. Are you done? You're not done.
No, but I will be today.
Okay.
We have the movie show today. I get a little bit of a break.
A little bit of extra time.
Some time. Staying downtown because we have Nutcracker tickets tonight, so it's a perfect afternoon for me to do lots of Christmas shopping.
That's great. We're going to start wrapping today, so that's one of my things that I procrastinate is wrapping. All right, look, you can't procrastinate making gifts or thrifting them. It takes planning. So we're going to chat with one of KSL's own who is dedicated to giving homemade and thrifted gifts this Christmas, plus tips on how you can do it too when we come back after this break.
You know, most diets will help you lose a few pounds, but Soda Weight Loss will help you lose years. I lost 37 pounds on the Soda Weight Loss program 3 years ago, and I feel younger than I've felt in decades. And it's not because of how I look, it's because of how I feel.
But you do look younger,
Thank
too.
you.
I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, and then I looked at the before and after pictures of myself and was like, wow.
It's something when you don't have to carry all of that excess weight around. And I was at a stage in my life where I didn't want to add drugs to my regimen. I wanted to reduce the number of medications I had to take. So the nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss taught me how to have a healthy relationship with food.
And it was so helpful that I could text my nutritionist anytime I wanted to for advice, which helped me learn what I needed to know so that I could keep it off. And right now, this is the perfect time to join, because if you join now, your partner joins for free. It's the perfect gift for both of you.
It's at Soda Weight Loss.
SOTAweightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
We've got a special movie show broadcasting live today from NPS in Salt Lake City, and I bought a gift for my wife today, and I'm noticing, Igor, I don't know how many are people that are here because they haven't done their Christmas shopping, or how many people that are here just because they know they've got an amazing opportunity to get Santa bucks while they shop at NPS.
Yes, that's the nicest thing.
It really doesn't matter because both work.
Yes, I like what you told me this morning. Somebody was complaining not to come in because they're going to spend $100 on what you told them.
I said, great, they'll give you $20 in Santa bucks to spend next week as cash at NPS. And he's like, oh, that's a good point.
That is amazing, yes.
Tell us about the Santa bucks for people who don't know.
Okay, so if you spend, for every $50 that the customer spend, they're going to get $10 back. So if they spend all the way up to $500, So they get $100 back.
If you spend $500, and by the way, if you spend $500, you'll probably end up with like a whole shelf full of things. You won't even have enough room in your cart. That's part of the fun at NPS too, Igor, is finding treasures. This is honestly, if you don't know what to get somebody, come to NPS and just wander the aisles. I kid you not, you will find a perfect gift that you didn't even know existed before you walked in.
Yes, we have everything. Also, I just wanted to mention for all the procrastinators who have not set up their Christmas trees, we have all of our Christmas trees at half off.
Okay.
And that we have really
now that's
amazing.
50% off of the already 30 to 70% discount that you had.
Yes.
So you're going to look at the price tag and be like, that's a good price, and then you're going to cut that in half.
Yes, like we have beautiful Christmas trees right there for $70. So they're going to pay $35.
And these are pre-lit too, right?
Pre-lit, yes.
Oh, see, this is perfect. Somebody just moved out. Somebody just moved to town and bring a Christmas tree with them. They can come get one for anywhere from 30 to 70% off at NPS. Oh, we've got lots of deals. We're going to talk about them on the movie show today. So go to any of the locations. All locations have deals, each store with their own specific ones. 475 North State in Orem, 1600 South Empire Road here today where we're broadcasting live, or in Davis County in Layton at 1150 North Main.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our Drains Department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Join the KSL Real Estate Show at a special time this Saturday, 7 a.m. before the Greenhouse Show. The latest on Wasatch Front real estate. This Saturday morning from 7 to 8.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The new Inside Sources.
All right, so as we were leaving the last segment, I told you I wasn't sure what a texter meant about waiting for the last 2 weeks, and they clarified they mean you have to wait for a payday, the closest payday to Christmas, before you get out there. So if you're scrambling for last-minute gifts and that online order won't make it on time, our next guest is KSL investigative reporter Danielle Rivera. Normally we have you on for a lot more serious stories, but we found out this fun fact about you, that you love to thrift.
I do. I'm so excited to be talking about this today.
Great. So tell us about what you're doing for Christmas gifts then this year.
This year I challenged myself to do all my gifts thrifted, vintage, secondhand, or homemade. And that's been a challenge.
Awesome.
I decided to do that in September. So I've had a little bit of time to work on that, and I'm really enjoying it. I decided to do this because I'm spending too much time on social media, right? And as I'm scrolling, I'm seeing, it's like every other post, someone's trying to sell me something. Yeah. You have to have this. You have to have this. And it starts to make you feel like that, like to have a magical holiday season, you need to buy all these things. But as I have found more and more when I'm buying something these days from the store, that dopamine hit you used to get when you would buy something, it's kind of hollow. Everything feels so mass produced, and it feels like we're in this period of overconsumption, and so I decided to try to do something a little different this year.
So what does thrifting look like to you? You can go to like secondhand stores, Deseret Industries type places?
Absolutely.
Right.
And we have a wonderful collection of small boutiques and stores. Deseret Industries here in Utah. I go to all of those. I hit the estate sales.
Right.
If there's an estate sale,
That's
I'm there
kinda cool.
rummaging through people's stuff. I really love that. And I think there's something that I love that I think is kind of beautiful, just taking something that someone loved and cherished and giving that some new life in a new way, in a new home with a new person. And I think it's also sustainable. So some of the things that I'll give you an example, something I have a friend who they love hosting dumpling nights and she doesn't have matching dishes. I found this beautiful set of 12 matching soy sauce dishes at an estate sale. Someone clearly spent good money on this at one point, and I'm, finding it for a much lower price tag. It's secondhand, but I can clean those up, put a ribbon on them, and it's something that she'll continue to use in her home now.
That's super awesome and very thoughtful. I was going to ask you, is there another example you can give us of something that you found that was thrifted?
Absolutely. Let me look at my list here. Oh, I have found books, like a nice, beautiful coffee table book, something that clearly sat in someone's home, lots of pictures. I find those at the thrift store all the time, or also at estate sales. I gifted a coffee table book to another friend this holiday season.
We had
really fun.
our office Christmas party last week, and now you've got me thinking, because I gave all my staff a gift card, completely impersonal. But two of the employees did exactly what you're talking about, and one of them got me some used cufflinks.
Oh my goodness!
And I don't know where she got them, but they're clearly, because they've got rust on them. But she must have got them at a thrift store. I'm wearing them today because they're so...
They look great!
Yeah, they're beautiful. And another one gave me an old pocket watch that he found at a thrift store. Just an old... and I remember leaving thinking, that was so much more personal. I've used them both than what I gave. And I sent them both a letter saying, that was so nice what you did. I don't know how much they spent. It probably wasn't a lot, but it meant a lot more to me because they were personal to me. They were things that these kids thought, Greg would like this.
Yes, they saw it and they thought of you.
Right,
There's a lot of
right.
thought and meaning behind it.
Right.
Yeah. So for any of our listeners who want to do this, and we're talking about last minute because we're getting close to Christmas now, what are some tips that you have?
Okay, my number one tip is have a giftable hobby. It might be a little late to start one, but a lot of people have one that you're not thinking about. Do you bake bread? Gift a bread loaf.
Yeah.
You can gift mini loaves. You can do something small. What is a favorite treat you make for your family in the holidays? Put those in small tins and give those to someone. So homemade is always something you can do with food. Something else I'm looking for last minute at the thrift stores, dishes. Is there a beautiful serving platter? Maybe you put some bread on there, tie it with a ribbon, give that. Mugs. Mugs have gotten out of hand. If you've looked at the stores lately, first, they're huge. Who needs that much at one? But they're huge, and they're $15. But if you're going to the Goodwill or the DI, you can find a mug for $1 to $3. People are donating all kinds of mugs. You can find one there that reminds you of your friend. Now, my giftable hobby is candle making. So
wow.
I have put candles in mugs. I made candles for all my coworkers this year, and I put them all in little thrifted vessels that I found throughout the year. But you could take a cute mug that reminds you of your friend, put a little hot cocoa packet in there, tie it with a ribbon, some marshmallows, something like that. It's pretty affordable. Maybe they'll have a cup of hot cocoa and think of you this holiday season. I also stress savory. We are surrounded by sweets. Something my friend's coworker did, she made little cheese balls for her coworkers, gifted them with a little bit of crackers. That's a wonderful snack when you're preparing food on Christmas Day or for the holidays, to have something savory there you can munch on or put out to serve. And then my other last minute gift that can actually be really, really meaningful, and this is, a friend gave me a gift like this last year, and it brought me to tears. Frames. Find a vintage photo frame and do a photo gift. We are living in such a digital world. We're posting the photos we're really proud of on Facebook. The moments we want to cherish are going on Instagram. But there's something really special about holding that memory in your hand. And we don't take the time to print those for ourselves. So if you have a friend who had a big milestone this year, maybe the two of you shared a special memory, get the photo printed. Put it in a thrifted frame. They're going to love it. Something like that means a lot.
You sparked some texts from our listeners, and one texter says they found 3 unopened gifts at the Park City thrift store. And another one says that they have a bunch of really ripe bananas and they're in the freezer. That's what she's making for her family and close friends. So banana bread, right?
Perfect.
Right?
Those are amazing ideas. And you will be amazed, like the one texter said, the things you can find that are unopened, unused. I've found beautiful wrapped luxury soap never touched that's been donated. So you just got to go and dig around for it.
That actually sounds like a fun hobby.
We just talked about, in our last segment, Daniela, the fact that so many people have waited until the last minute. It seems to me that what you're talking about, for those of us that are waiting until the last minute, is still doable. Maybe.
Absolutely.
There's still
Absolutely.
things you can do.
100%. There's always time, and it doesn't have to be really the thing about a gift is the thought. And we know that, and I think this year I'm really trying to return to that because I look at the gifts that have meant a lot to me, and they're really simple, but it's someone who knows me and thought of me, and what do they say? To be considered is to be loved.
Right.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm wondering too, so you said thrifting, you also said homemade. For you, the homemade, it sounds like, was candles?
Yes, candles, also bread. I make a holiday bread that I give to some folks.
Wow.
The name Rivera, I'm Puerto Rican, so I also make coquito, which is a traditional Puerto Rican holiday beverage.
Wow.
You can make it with or without alcohol, and I gift little bottles of that to some families.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, Greg, I'm asking you, what do you make that's homemade?
I really started doing this. We live in an area, we have a place in southern Utah where there are a lot of rocks and minerals and things. And I got a rock tumbler and a rock cutter.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been cutting rocks into things. And I make this, I find a piece of wood that I hang from it, rocks that go down in sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're tied together with copper wire.
Oh, wow.
And you can hang it like a,
art.
yeah, like
That's art.
And I've even found arrowheads I've put on some of them.
Wow.
And different kinds of rocks, and I've made about a half dozen of them. Of course, they're not easy to transport. You literally have to like take it and set it up at their house. But I've
That's cool,
started
though.
creating that.
That's really neat.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
fun.
creative.
Yeah, that's really great. I used to do more than I do now, but I think I'm down to just making cookies to distribute.
Well, if you can, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to do. I do caramels too, homemade caramels, but a lot of the baking things. I used to sew. That would be more for family. But I did last year. I did matching aprons for my daughter and her little boy. It's super cute, and his favorite character is the Hungry Caterpillar, and so he got this Hungry Caterpillar apron that Grandma made for him, and it was really fun, partially because he was scared of aprons. It's a weird thing to be afraid of, but because he loved the Hungry Caterpillar so much, he agreed to wear it, and now he wears it almost every day. It's really fun.
I love that.
Well, thank you, Daniela. That was KSL investigative reporter Daniela Rivera, who's here on a different subject than
Yay.
usual.
Woo, thanks for having me.
Yeah, usually got somebody in your crosshairs today. It's just seeing you having some fun. When we come back after the break, we're going to share some favorite Christmas traditions, including those from different cultures. That's next with Jay Evenson, opinion editor of the Deseret News. Stay with us.
It's 10:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour. Barry Manilow just revealed he has lung cancer and is postponing his January concerts to have surgery. The singer posted the update on Instagram saying doctors don't think the cancer has spread and surgery should be able to move the impacted spot. Manilow is 82 years old. In other developing news, BYU announced just a short time ago a home-and-home series with Notre Dame, with the Fighting Irish playing in Provo next season. The Cougars will then play in South Bend in 2027. This comes just a short time after Notre Dame turned down playing against BYU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl as a way to protest being left out of the college football playoffs. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. The Department of Justice says releasing the files is a work in progress, but they're getting pushback for not releasing all the files at once. ABC Washington correspondent Jay O'Brien has more.
What DOJ released starting on Friday afternoon and then into Saturday looks like thousands of pages, and again, compare that to hundreds of thousands of pages. Now, what the Department of Justice will tell you is that they're working on this. They're going to upload more and more in the coming days and weeks, and they say, in their view, this is a manpower and a technological issue because some of this upload crashed the Department of Justice's website when they put all this on to say, we are only scratching the surface.
Some photos released include familiar faces like former President Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, and Mick Jagger. Your money at this moment, things are still up. The Dow gaining 254 points, the S&P up 39 points, the NASDAQ up 129 points. Coming up, more record heat for December. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 10:31.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
It's the movie show, a special Monday movie show. What? The first time I think we've ever done the movie show on a Monday, and we are doing it from NPS in Salt Lake City. And before the doors opened this morning, the line was all the way out to the street at both doors, I would like to point out. Even for me to come in, I had to wait at the back of the line so that I could get in.
Did you see the
I didn't even see that one. They probably touched each other.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because NPS has such amazing deals all the time. But right now, it's an even better time, because if you spend $50 at NPS today, up through Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Every $50 you spend, you get $10 in Santa Bucks, which is basically cash to come back the week after Christmas.
That is correct.
And it's good for anything in the store.
Yes.
I mean, that's just an unbelievable deal.
Yes. And one of the best presents that we can always give is clothing. We have amazing, beautiful clothing, top brands,
brand
great
new,
prices.
still has the tags on them.
And today, 70% off.
Extra 70% off.
Yes.
I am trying to talk people here into going over and getting the things that they need, because you're going to see an incredibly low price on that clothing, and then you're going to have to do a little bit of math and say, okay, take 70% off of this. That's practically nothing.
Yeah, you're paying 30 cents on the dollar.
So, yeah, to get to that $50, you're going to take home a lot of merchandise today, or groceries. I mean, look, we've got this. We've got... We've got the strawberry shortcake builder kit here.
Yes.
If you want to have a fun holiday tradition with the kids or the grandkids, come get some of these sponge cakes. Get these sponge cakes for $1.99 for a 16-ounce. There's 16 of them in the box. That's what it is. And then you come get 2 pounds of fresh ripe strawberries for $2.
Yes.
And then you get some whipped cream, and you got yourself a strawberry shortcake.
Exactly.
Great
tradition.
Fun thing. Exactly.
Yes.
Have decorating contests. Do whatever you want. You've got grocery deals. You've got retail deals. Christmas trees. If you still need a Christmas tree, how much?
We're half off.
Extra half off. It's already low marked price. These are pre-lit trees of varying sizes. We got the ones that are too tall for some of your living rooms, but we got some others that are just going to be the right size. 4 locations for NPS, 1600 South Empire Road. Come in and say hi to the movie show today. Say hi to Steve Sales. He's going to be here. And then or you can go in Layton to 1150 North Main, or Orem at 475 North State.
Our country is held together by small businesses. That's a fact. It's also a fact that 9 out of 10 of those small businesses will fail. Why? Because it's hard, really, really hard to build a profitable business from the ground up today. Pure Talk knows that. They started as a small American wireless company determined to keep their customer service in this country. It worked, and today Pure Talk is determined to help other small businesses prosper by offering them the same white glove service the big guys get. Same service, same 5G network at a truly affordable price. Pure Talk is focused on businesses that employ welders and roofers, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, the people who keep the lights on. If that sounds like your business, give Pure Talk Business a try and see just how much you could save. Dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who understands the power of small business. Pure Talk.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
And thanks, Britt. We are not seeing that accident anymore. Southbound I-15 right before 2100 South. They just cleared it and everybody drove off. And it never was affecting traffic, of course, but now you don't even have to worry about it at all. And so speeds remain great on I-15, both north and southbound, all along the Wasatch Front. Far down is Payson and all the way up to Ogden. You're not going to find any accidents or delays there. No other accidents or delays on the other major highways or side streets. Your feeders over to I-15 are looking good. If you're headed up into the canyons, you're also free and clear in both directions in all canyons. Every day, people struggle with mental health challenges, addiction, or homelessness. Volunteers of America, Utah provides counseling, recovery programs, and safe housing. Your donations show someone they matter. Visit voaut.org to give today. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
We should get up to 62 degrees today, 61 on Tuesday, and 61 again on Christmas Eve. Those are record-setting temperatures. We do get some rain showers moving in on Christmas Eve. That should hang around through Friday. Right now it's 61 degrees and cloudy. I'm Britt Johnson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
With Christmas just 3 days away, I think we need Christmas music for every intro now.
Yeah, we do.
We have Jay Evenson with us. He's the opinion editor of the Deseret News, but Jay has a real connection to Sweden. And I asked him if he would come on today to talk about some of his favorite traditions that he's incorporated with his family. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for having me. No, this is a fun topic. And I'm not only connected to Sweden because I served a church mission there and my wife is Swedish, was born there, but also I have a real connection to Norway because my mother was Norwegian. She came over to the States after the war, married my dad. And the traditions are very similar between the two countries, but some of the verbiage is different. So Christmas Eve is the big time to celebrate. That's when you open presents.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time for commemoration. And it's always a tradition, especially if you have little kids at home, that their version of Santa Claus will come that evening, and you'll actually see him.
Oh, wow.
So my mother used to, in Norway, it's called julenissen. That's their version of Santa Claus. I mean, it originated from something that looked very different from Santa Claus, but we become a little bit more acclimated to American traditions over there. But usually my mother would talk about sitting down to a Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, and she would look under her plate, and there would be a note, a handwritten note from julenissen saying, "I'm coming at 9 o'clock." She would get just so excited. And then right before 9 o'clock, her father would always say, I've got to go do some stuff. I've got to take out the garbage or got to whatever. And he would disappear. And then there would be a knock at the door, and here would be julenissen, who was always about the same height, the same build as her father. But
similar voice, right.
But, when you're a child, you want to believe so much that you never, you just don't put that together. So in Sweden, they have something called jultomten, Tomten. You can Google it and see how he looks. Now, I don't have an outfit to make myself look like jultomten, but I started this tradition in our family where we would get the family together after our dinner on Christmas Eve, and we'd start singing Christmas songs. My wife is a very good piano player, and so she would play and we would sing. And I would always tell them, if you sing loud enough, then Tomten's gonna come. And sometimes during that evening, usually like around the 12 days of Christmas, which is a long piece, I would excuse myself, and I'd go into our bedroom where we had a sack filled of toys in the closet, and we have a sliding glass door, and I would sneak out the sliding glass door, and then have to go all the way around the house to the front and leave that by the front door, and then scurry back around again in through the bedroom sliding glass door. And the cat always gives me the strangest looks every year when I'm doing that. She doesn't realize there's a sliding glass door, and she's like, "What in the world's going on?" And then I would go back in and I would wait. He'd sing a few more songs, and the kids are getting really antsy. And then I'd finally say, I think I heard a knock at the door. And they'd all rush to the door, and they'd open it up, and there is a sack, just full of toys that they pull in. And,
how wonderful!
And of course, because I've waited a long time, it's ice cold.
Yeah.
It just came from the North Pole. Well, this hasn't always worked right. There have been a couple of years where it's been really icy and snowy, and in my haste to get around to the side, I've fallen down, and I get covered in mud and snow, and try to. But my favorite year was when I grabbed a sack and I accidentally grabbed sack my wife had used when she was cutting out wrapping paper to put the scraps and things in. I had pulled that around to the front door.
And the garbage sack.
The garbage sack. And so the kids are all excited. They open the door. Here's this sack. I look at my wife, and she is shaking her head just with this alarmed look in her face, like, no, no, no. And I realize what I've done. So, if you're going to be a dad Santa, you have to think quickly on your feet. And so I said quickly to them, I said, I had left that outside the door earlier tonight to throw away in the garbage and forgot about it. I guess he hasn't come yet.
Oh.
And they never questioned, why would you leave the garbage by the front door when the garbage sacks are just, by the garage?
Right. or maybe Tompton's not happy with them this year. And
Well,
leaving like a sack of coal.
I thought about that. You get a sack of garbage if you're not, but no.
Right,
that would have been
naughty and nice, right.
That would have been too cruel. So then I had to go back in the house, make another excuse at some point.
Gosh.
Another long
go
song.
back into the bedroom and do the whole thing all over again. But it's become a real beloved tradition in our home.
Yeah.
They never get to see Tompton, but they know that his sack is left there. And we have one grandchild who lives in the area here. We have 10 grandchildren who live on the East Coast, so they're not able to participate in this. But when he's there on Christmas Eve, we always do that just for him so he can experience it.
That's really awesome. So one of our traditions that I'm actually really glad I don't have to do anymore is the putting together of things Christmas Eve going into Christmas Day, because some of those became all-nighters. It's like, how many screws are there to this
Playing
thing?
Santa Claus.
This playhouse or whatever it is.
We actually had both traditions, okay, because the kids are being raised in America. So after they'd gone to bed, after everything settled down on Christmas Eve, we would bring out the stocking stuffers.
Oh, wow.
And wrap those and put them in the stockings. And my daughter, I remember she had gotten to that age where she was a little bit skeptical about things. And so she took flour and she spread, around the fireplace, and because she wanted to capture footprints for Santa.
Oh yeah,
how smart.
Yeah, so I had to remember to step on those and make sure there were footprints.
You have double traditions. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's twice the work, but it is a lot of fun.
So I spent 3 years growing up in France, and there's one holdover. It's been more than 40 years since I moved back, but they had midnight mass. That was very traditional. And then after that, they would have this huge meal, and it included a bûche de Noël, which is a Yule log. So traditionally, like way a long time ago, they literally had a log that they would burn, specifically going into Yule season. But this is the cake that looks like a log, right? So it's rolled and it's wrapped, and it's iced, and it has the powdered sugar on it to look like snow, and I make meringue mushrooms to go on with it. And so that's one of the holdovers from a different culture that has continued with our family. And our kids don't even probably know the French connection. I just are you going to make that again? It's so good.
You made one last week.
Yes, I did. I made one last week for our work Christmas party, so that was a lot of fun.
Well, there are a lot of cookies and cakes and things that are part of our tradition as well. So, they come from Scandinavia. So a lot of fun.
Do one quick thing about the cookies, too.
Yes, I gave you each a box of pepperkoker. These are like gingerbread, real thin gingerbread type cookies. And you're supposed to take it and hold it in the palm of your hand, and then you tap it with your other hand, your index finger, and break it. If it breaks into 3 pieces, then you get a wish.
Okay. How many times do you have to try this before it breaks into 3 pieces?
There's a lot of choices.
There's no limit. You can keep trying as long as you want, but it's a lot of fun for the kids.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, we have one texter that says we do a grandchild sleepover every Christmas, serving dinner and playing giveaway games. They have 10 grandkids. So my mind is stuck on Christmas. And Greg, you told me about a Christmas movie you watched this weekend that you said was surprisingly good. So we're going to talk with the KSL movie show peeps when we come back after this break.
More than 50 million Americans suffer from a form of mental illness.
And Utah isn't immune, with nearly 1 in 3 people dealing with anxiety, depression, or another form of mental illness.
But there's hope. We can all take action to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe.
That's why KSL has teamed with the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation to bring you hope and help you thrive.
It's Healthy Mind Matters.
Find out more at healthymindmatters.com.
The movie show, a special Monday movie show broadcasting live from NPS in Salt Lake City today. And what a day to get some shopping done. Maybe the kids are out of school and they haven't got each other their gifts.
I know.
If you say, kids, you got $5 here at NPS, but I bet you can go more. They can get some incredible stuff. And meanwhile, you can go do some shopping for them while they're all looking for the things that they want. And if you all combine together, spend $50 at NPS today, you get $10 in Santa Bucks. What are those, Igor?
That is correct. So for every $50 from today until Wednesday, you get $10 back. So up to $500. So some people spend $500, they get $100 back.
If you need decorations, they've got trees, an extra 50% off the already 30 to 70% that they're marked down. If you need food for your holiday parties, don't go to the store. Come to NPS, get everything you need. If there's something that you still need, then go to the store because you're going to spend less here at NPS.
Yes, and today, because of the movie show, we have selected organic butter, 2 for $5. This one retails in the store for $7.
And you get 2 for $5?
2 for $5, and we have a limit of 2 per customer.
Okay. Do we got any other cool specials?
Yes, we have some selected candy canes, 2 for $1. They retail for $2 in the store.
Oh.
2 for $1, 50 cents.
That's a great deal. I love that.
Yes, and we have selected fruit ring cereal, 99 cents for
okay.
this bag.
That's moms are going to love this deal. This, you'd pay a lot more for that in the grocery store. Can't tell you the brand, but
$3 in the store. Here, 99 cents.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And then we've got your do-it-yourself strawberry shortcake kits. Let's not forget. $2 for a package of 16 of these sponge cakes, and then $2 for 2 pounds of fresh strawberries. Oh, what a great holiday treat and tradition you can start this year with the kids or the grandkids.
I love it. Yes. We have this selected 8-pack juice drink boxes only for $1.99. They retail for $4.50 at any store in the Valley.
Oh, so time to get school lunch stuff. I like that. Or just snacks for the kids. You're going to have a lot of kids bouncing around. You got to give them something to do. I'm loving this. Clothing, by the way, extra 70% off the lowest Mark's price.
Yes. And today is a special day because you're going to stretch your dollar, and we're going to have Santa Claus and Mrs. Santa Claus today.
At the Salt Lake location at 1600 South Empire Road. Every NPS has all the other deals that we've talked about at 475 North State in Orem and 1150 North Main in Layton.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. You've heard me talk now for years about the Connecticut soft water system that we have in our home. As we head into the colder weather, if you're dealing with dry and itchy skin, do you notice your skin is cracking? It's uncomfortable, and the lotion doesn't seem to give you the relief you need? Hard water may be a hidden contributor to that pain and discomfort of dry, itchy skin. I've got Monty here from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer and an expert in overcoming challenges with hard water here in Utah.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. When you shower in hard water, the minerals don't rinse away completely, forming a film in your skin, leaving you feeling tight, dry, and constantly itching.
So the hard water minerals are essentially leaving a sticky residue on my body and even in my hair?
Exactly. Connecticut removes the minerals before they touch your skin, leaving you feeling silky, smooth, and comfortable.
Do what I did and stop buying expensive lotions and start treating the source of the problem. Find out how soft your water could be at softwaterutah.com.
Winter is here officially, and many kids in Utah don't have the warm coats and sturdy shoes they need to get through the upcoming cold months.
However, KSL's Quarters for Christmas has been helping local kids for years, turning your donations into warm coats and shoes for kids right here in our community.
It's really easy to make a difference, and you need to know that every dollar that you give goes directly toward providing coats and shoes for the kids who need it most. You can just go online to kslquarters.com, give what you can, and know that you're helping keep a child warm this winter.
Please join us in spreading a little comfort and a lot of kindness with KSL's Quarters for Christmas.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Inside Sources.
Okay.
I haven't heard from the Chipmunks in a long time, but
it's because it's one of my fun facts of the day.
You made us play that song.
I
Christmas
did
Don't
make
Be
you
Late
play.
by the Chipmunks.
I did make you play that because it was on this day in 1958 that song reached number 1 on the music charts. I actually had no idea it was that old.
Hard to believe.
Right?
That
It was
it reached
that
number
old.
1.
Here's another thing I didn't know. This was in 1882 that the first string of Christmas tree lights were created, and they were created by Thomas Edison. So, and today is also National Cookie Exchange Day. And you were asking me, what is a cookie exchange?
Right.
And really what it is you'll get together. So say you get together with 6 friends. Each of you makes 6 dozen cookies. And then when you get together, you rotate. And so you go home with 6 dozen, but they're all different kinds of cookies, right? So you take 1 dozen home of yours and 1 dozen of your friends, and right, that's what a cookie exchange
Makes
is.
a lot of sense because
Yeah.
you can do it for your culture or for something that you really
Right.
like. There's some
Right.
particular cookie that you make every year
I
that you want to share.
I make a ton of cookies every year, and I haven't actually done a cookie exchange, but that's what that is.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
All right. Hey, movie show guys, what big movie are we talking about today?
Well, okay, so Christmas week, there's usually a big movie or two, and we picked Song Sung Blue.
Sounds like Neil Diamond.
It is Neil Diamond, as a matter of fact. In fact,
Neil Diamond impersonator.
yeah, it's a Neil Diamond impersonator.
So I was wondering, it's not a show about the life of Neil Diamond. It's a show about
the life of a Neil Diamond impersonator.
Yeah, a tribute band. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it stars Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson, and they play Mike and Claire. And Mike is he's originally a Don Ho impersonator. These are the ones that they hire these people to go to state fairs and play cover music to entertain people. They call it the Blue Hair Crowd, and it's set in the 80s.
True story too. It's based on true story.
And he calls himself
Isn't Don
Lightning.
Ho Hawaiian?
Yes,
Okay.
This was the 80s
Okay.
when
All
people
right.
were less worried about that kind of thing,
Okay.
I think. But at any rate, he's not satisfied with that, and so Kate Hudson sees him and says, "You should do Neil Diamond." He's like, "Whoa, you don't do that. Neil's too good. I don't want to do disservice to him." But then she eventually talks him into doing that.
Yeah, and you get a lot of music between. That's the highlight of this film is a lot of them singing. And you see them, they get married, and their life and their family, and all of that.
I saw a promo to it that looked like, was it Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Yes.
He looks just like Neil Diamond. I mean, he kind of did the hair and everything from what I saw.
Well, at the first when he has like the really long hair, he doesn't look so much like Neil Diamond. But eventually, when he goes full period in costume, he does.
Right,
and of course, Hugh Jackman's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
Broadway. I just get the vibe that this might hit people the same way The Greatest Showman did, where it kind of came out of nowhere, and the critics for Greatest Showman were like, it's all right, but then just audiences responded in droves because it felt good. It had toe-tapping music, and everybody just loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the cover song, so it doesn't have that like originality that Greatest Showman had. But
That's fair.
But still, I think.
But it's Neil Diamond.
Yeah, people
He's only
love
the greatest
those
songwriter of
songs.
this or any generation, according
Yeah.
to some movies.
I mean, it's just the highlight of the movie is all of the great singing. Me, love musicals, so.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun. And since I saw that you were going to be talking about this, I can't get the music out of my head.
No.
Song
Once you
Sung
see
Blue,
the
man.
title, you can't get the hook
Right?
out of your head.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got it in my head now. I'm trying to think of another. Okay, Cracklin' Rosie. That'll get it out. That'll get it out.
Yeah.
And Kate Hudson has more of the arc of the two with her character. So,
But yeah, it's more of a love story than it is. It's not really like about Neil Diamond. It's not like that. It's,
No.
it's just a love story that happens
That's
to
so
feature all
interesting.
these songs.
Yeah.
So is it based on a true story? Or
Yeah.
Loosely? Okay. It is
yes.
based on a true
So there
story.
really was a band, Lightning and Thunder, and their names were really Mike and Claire. And they performed from 1989 to 2006, but
Oh,
this
wow.
movie focuses on 91 to 93.
Oh, so it's the early 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
It definitely had that 80s to, I was thinking
Yeah,
late
yeah.
80s, but yeah, it
Yeah.
had that vibe.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit of a trip back in time. It's a good chance to hear talented people singing and hearing songs that you probably already know and enjoy. And those kinds of movies just tend to resonate. Familiarity, there's something about it.
Yeah. I think we all have a Neil Diamond. I was thinking Neil Young. Neil Diamond song that we really like. I mean, now that you mention it.
Well,
there-
because we're old.
Right, yeah. I think it'd be a fun movie to go see just because of that.
All right.
No, I was going to say, my mom played Neil Diamond on record, so I knew a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the artist I knew best before I even knew ones of my own generation.
That's funny. Look, we wanted to talk about Christmas or holiday movies that took us by surprise by being so good. And Greg had an answer. He just saw one yesterday that he really liked.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's called The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Yeah, I just watched
Dan
that last
Stevens.
year for the first time.
I just watched it last night for the first time, and I'll tell you, I thought it was great. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was the story of who wrote
Charles
A Christmas?
Dickens.
Oh, Charles
That's
Dickens,
right.
of course, right. It was Charles Dickens and how he came about writing A Christmas Carol. And I don't know, it seems schmaltzy, but I really liked the movie.
No, it's not schmaltzy at all. Especially with Christmas stuff. You're forgiven for any amount of schmaltz you put in a Christmas movie.
Right?
Is immediately forgiven.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true. You want all the feels. That's actually a positive in a holiday movie.
All right, I have one too.
Okay, Holly.
Hey, I'm haunting you. You can't just run away from me when I'm haunting you. Hello?
I do not recognize this one at all.
It is a Christmas Carol-ish show. It's spirited.
I love that. Yeah.
It was so funny. Our family just loves it. We watch it now multiple times a year. I think it came out 3 years ago, maybe.
And the same songwriting team of Greatest Showman.
Oh, I didn't even know that, but it was amazing, and you need to watch it, Greg, because it was so funny.
It is funny. It's got a great message
It
to
really
it also.
does.
Like it went into our Christmas rotation immediately after it came out.
Yeah, exactly. So, what about you guys? Did you have a Christmas movie that took you by surprise?
The one I thought of is a Hallmark movie. It's called Take Me Back for Christmas. And the reason why this was such a surprise, it was excellent, but also it was a Christmas in July movie. And so you don't expect the Christmas in July movies to be top tier Hallmark, and it really was. It's about a woman who gets a chance to have an alternate. It's kind of a It's a Wonderful Life type story, and in particular, she gets to see her mother again, who'd passed away, and she's kind of stuck in her grief, and she gets to see her again. And I thought it was very well done.
That sounds awesome.
Now mine is split between two movies. One of them is Ultimate in Schmaltz, but I just for some reason loved it, and it was called I Still Believe. I think if you watch it, you'll be like, what is he talking about? But I think if you watch it with like an open mind, you'll think this is really cool. It's about a guy who still believes in Santa. He dates this girl, they get all the way to the end, and she finds out he still believes in Santa, and he's a grown man, and this is like, I got to break up with him. And he like makes an amazing argument that I just loved. And if you ever, you want to watch it with you, it's great. But
I've
the other
seen
one is
it.
You have seen it?
I have, yeah.
What
It
did
is-
you think?
I really liked it. I liked Schmaltzy.
It should not have worked, but it did.
It did
And it's
work.
a real life married couple. That's doing
That one
movie.
was too?
Yeah, in that movie.
Oh,
yeah.
that I didn't know.
They're
Oh,
real
because
life.
he wrote the story.
Yeah.
It's actually him, isn't
How about
it?
that? What's your other one?
The other one is called The Star, and it came out about 8-9 years ago. It's an animated one. It came from Sony Pictures, and so I was like, oh, this is going to make fun of the whole nativity story. Who knows what they're going to do with it, because it's got all these comedic voices. But it would turn out to be really sincere, and I love it. It's got Oprah Winfrey's voice. It's got Tracy Morgan, and it just turned out to be this super sincere story. And by the end, I was like, okay, I am so glad I watched the whole thing, because I was getting a little wondery in the middle of it. But Zachary Levi, I think, voices Joseph in that. That's a good one. The Star by Sony Pictures.
How about that? You know what? I have to give you one more fun fact of the day, because yesterday was winter solstice. So today, I just want you to know we have 2 extra seconds of sunshine. 2 seconds.
Ooh, sweet.
Well,
Very good.
Holly and
Merry
I are,
Christmas.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you,
heading
you
out
too.
early today because of you guys, and for a very special KSL movie show. By the way, you don't want to miss what they've got planned for today, I promise. We will be back right here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 11 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour: 2 people in Utah County are being accused of pretending